Help me reach 4,000 subscribers. Give the video a like and drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Thank you. The first time my wife, Luna, brought up the idea of an open relationship, she mentioned it so lightly it sounded like she was recommending a new cafe. We were on the couch, her legs tucked under a blanket, while she scrolled on her phone with that restless energy I'd started seeing more often. "Arlo," she said, "don't you ever feel like we jumped into everything too young? Maybe we should explore a little, just to be sure we're not missing something." Her tone was gentle, almost cautious, like she already expected me to say yes. I looked at her, confused. We'd been married 4 years. We'd always been open with each other. Loving, steady. At least, that's what I thought. The idea of involving anyone else felt off, disloyal, wrong. But Luna insisted she only wanted clarity. Her new work friends believed open relationships were healthy, freeing, modern. She wanted to try it. Not forever, she claimed, just to experiment. 4 days, I tried to convince her otherwise. She said I was insecure, old-fashioned, resistant to change. In the end, worn down by her constant arguments and terrified of losing her, I gave up. "Fine," I said. "If this is what you think you need." The relief on her face made it obvious she had been anticipating this long before she asked. Within a week, Luna was coming home late. She'd say she was grabbing coffee with someone or having a drink with a friend. Her phone was always placed face down. She giggled at messages she wouldn't explain. She even took her phone into the shower, pretending not to notice me watching. My chest tightened every time she left the house wearing clothes I hadn't seen in years, outfits she never wore for me anymore. If this was supposed to be an experiment for clarity, it seemed she already had hers. Still, I kept my side of the deal. I didn't date. I didn't even want to. But as Luna drifted further away, I started to wonder if I was being foolish. One night, she walked in smelling like another man's cologne, claiming she'd been helping a coworker move boxes. She didn't bother hiding the smile she'd been holding in since she entered. That was when I understood the truth. The open relationship was only open for her. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted my wife back, but she'd cornered me, insisting I embrace this freedom she said we both needed. So, I made a choice, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. I started talking to someone. Her name was Marin, warm, clever, and effortlessly honest. We met in a bookshop after reaching for the same novel. She laughed, and that laugh felt like a kind of warmth I hadn't felt at home in months. When she found out I was married but in an open relationship, she didn't bolt. She just said gently, "That sounds like a lot. But if you ever want to talk, I'm here." Talking turned into long conversations. Then those conversations became a connection I never saw coming. She wasn't dramatic. She didn't play games. She genuinely liked me. And for the first time in months, I felt valued. One Friday evening, after another late meeting, Luna refused to explain. Something inside me snapped. She wanted an open relationship. Fine. I stopped waiting for her to come home. I invited Marin over. Not for anything inappropriate, just dinner, company, a healthy kind of human connection. Something honest. When Luna walked in and saw her, the color drained from her face. She froze at the doorway, keys still in hand, staring like she'd witnessed a crime. Who is she?" she stuttered. I stood calmly. This is Murrin. You said we were open. You've been seeing other people for weeks. I figured it was time I tried too. Luna blinked rapidly, like someone had hit her in the chest. Arlo, you brought someone into our home? Her voice shook. Into our space. I almost laughed at the hypocrisy. You've been gone every night. Acting single for a month. All I did was eat dinner. Murrin, clearly uneasy, whispered, I can go, but I shook my head. No, I said softly. You're not the issue here. Luna's eyes filled with something I couldn't quite name. Fear, guilt, maybe. The sudden understanding that she wasn't immune to consequences. Arlo, I never thought you'd actually. I didn't think you'd want someone else. Her voice trembled. I thought you were just agreeing to make me happy. And what about me? I asked quietly. Did you ever think about that? The silence that followed confirmed everything I'd feared, but didn't want to accept. She never expected me to move on. She assumed I'd stay loyal, waiting, while she explored her freedom. Murrin excused herself with a gentle thank you and left. The moment the door closed, Luna broke down, not soft tears, but panicked sobs. Arlo, please, she cried. I don't want this anymore. I don't want an open relationship. I don't want anyone else. I don't want to lose you. But something in me had already shifted. I wasn't mad. I wasn't seeking revenge. I was simply done being the only one, fighting for a marriage she'd already walked out of. Luna, I said quietly, you didn't lose me tonight. You lost me weeks ago when you chose someone else over us. Her sobs grew louder, but I felt oddly calm, steadier than I'd been in months. I didn't know what came next. Divorce, reconciliation, or something in between. But for the first time, I knew one truth with absolute clarity. If I stayed with Luna, it would be because I chose to, not because she panicked at the thought that I had options too. And I wasn't sure that was enough anymore.